I'm going to start the recording now. Welcome, everybody. We are going to cover today, we are going to cover the Passport program for the MORE libraries. We're going to talk about how to take the wonderful toolkit that Reb has put together and turn it into a blog post for your website. And hopefully by the end of today, you will have seen the step-by-step skills for starting from scratch in making a blog post and taking this and putting it on your website. Just a reminder that when you create a blog post, and today I'm going to be using our demonstration library, the Blue Pine Library. So we have on the Blue Pine Library, we have this post slider on the front page. And I don't know why that one's missing a picture, but it is. So we have this post slider. Today, we're mainly going to be focusing on getting the new information into this post slider. And then we'll also talk a little bit about where else it will land on your website. So Blue Pine Library needs to add the MORE Passport program post. And just also a note that this applies to any blog post that you're going to make. This is not specific to the Passport program. The steps and tricks that we're going to use today can be used for any library blog post. So I'm starting looking at the toolkit page that Reb has put together, and we have quite a few resources here, including your Facebook page header, your event header, your size that's here for your Explore More. This is your website size, the 795 by 500 generally will work for most library post sliders. This is a nice logo for print, your poster for print, and your Instagram for print. Note that right now these are still the coming soon event pictures. I'm going to be working with the new one that will be posted shortly, and that is our preparation for getting going. So we've got this is basically our post for May, and then we'll be working on our posts. Then you'll be able to take these same steps and do it for your posts for June after things kick off. So I've got this page from Reb. I also have, which is in chat for you, there is the talking points for Explore More 2024 Passport Program as a SharePoint document with some talking points for us to start with. These cover quite a bit of territory. You've got your main points and you have your extras. You probably won't want to use all of this in your blog post. You may want to use it in a press release. You may want to use it in some other pieces, and you will want to personalize it. So today we're going to talk about some tips and tricks for how to take some text like this and turn it into a blog post. And then finally, how we're going to actually make our blog post. I have here, I'm going to put this into chat. This is our Libraries Win training page with creating a new blog post for my website. And specifically, we are going to work with right here, the what we need. So we're going to start with our blog post checklist. What we will need in our blog post is listed here: your blog post title, your post content or the text, the categories where you want your post to appear. This will be a little bit different for each of the libraries. I'll demonstrate how it works for the Blue Pine Library today, but each of your websites has something just a little bit different. Our featured image in JPEG or PNG format, ideally 795 by 500. Again, that's what has been put together for us. And we want the date when we put the post to begin to appear, if we're not doing it immediately. Today we'll publish it immediately. But if you want to schedule your post for June, this is the date you would want it to appear. The date you want it to disappear, we will have it come down shortly before June, so it can be replaced with our Going Live information. And then any other additional documents, web pages, or links that you would like to have. Okay, that's a lot of stuff to get together. I created for you a blog post checklist. So on this same site, we have links to a Word document, a Google Doc, or a PDF document that you can download yourself just by clicking on it. And you can take this and download this for your use to walk you through preparing for your blog post. I have already started this for our MORE 2024 Passport Program post that we're going to make today. So I have my checklist. I need my post title, and I've already decided that that is going to be Explore More in 24, since it rhymes. I'm going to have to come back to my post text because that's got my talking points from Reb, but I still need to write this. Knowing my library website, I know that I want this to appear on my library homepage, in library news, and on my programs page. The priority thing is going to be to assign it to your homepage right now, so that it appears on that homepage slider. So again, when we make a post, anytime you make a post, you will choose a category, and automatically it's going to send it to wherever that category is tied to information on your website. So this slider right here is tied to the category of homepage on my text. So I've got that. Oops, sorry, get back here. And now I need my featured image and where it's called and where it's saved. I got it from the Passport Campaign website, and I wanted to make sure that I had it saved somewhere. So I took it, I've already downloaded it, and actually, again, I'm working with, oops, sorry about that. We're working with the newest one. So I actually have this one, without the coming soon on it, already saved to my downloads folder in a space that I can find it. I wanted to begin today, so the date I wanted to schedule to start is immediate, and I know I wanted to come down on the 30th of May. And the additional link that I want to include is the IFLS Explore More 2024 post that we can link to, where eventually there'll be information for downloading your passport. So I have everything all ready to go this morning, except my talking points or my post text. And I have the horror of the blank page. I think my French teacher called it the horror of the whiteness of the blank page, is the quote. I have to write something, and right now I'm busy. I'm thinking about other things. I don't know where to begin. So I'm going to share with you a couple of tools that I have used recently to help myself get past some of those when I just need to get things done in a neat and orderly fashion. I have started using some of our new AI friends as co-writers or editors or as critiquers of some of my work, because this is not something that should be taking up a ton of my time. I have some examples here today. There is Chat GPT, which is popular and you've probably heard of. This is free. You do need to sign up with an account. I have signed up with my work account for this one. We have Google has Gemini, which used to be called Google Bard, and works somewhat similarly, but it gives you some different things. Of note, it does not work with my work account. We haven't enabled those permissions yet, so I'm not going to use Gemini today. I would have to sign up with my personal account. And then Microsoft Copilot, which is another alternative, just another brand. Again, gives you some more. You can choose a more creative conversation style, a more precise, a balanced conversation style, and you can do some other things with this one. It also includes, for the fun of it, it includes a vacation planner, cooking assistance, fitness trainer, but today we're going to focus on press releases and talking points and blog posts. So again, I got to get some of this done. I have some talking points to start with. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me, please. Always start with please, because you never know when these guys are going to take over the planet. So, you know, get on their good side now. Rewrite the following talking points as a blog post of, I'm going to figure out how many words I want. And I'm going to say of 200 words or less. And now I'm going to come over to my talking points that I got. And now remembering that this is just a starting point. This is not what we're going to use in our final draft. I just need something to get me past that start. So I'm going to copy this and paste it into here and press send. And ChatGPT starts writing for me. So it's taking the wonderful talking points that were bullet pointed, and ChatGPT has written it out for me in paragraph form. Looks pretty good. I will have to read this over for accuracy, because always check your accuracy with AI. It may decide to highlight things that you don't feel are that important. So it gave me some really nice things here, but I'm looking at this and thinking, this looks like a lot of information for my website that probably a lot of people would read. This length of text looks more like something that I would want to put into a press release. So I think I'm going to ask, please rewrite again in, let's say, 150. Let's say I said 200 the first time. Let's say 100 words or less. Okay, now we've got it down to one paragraph, and it says, embark on an exciting journey with Explore More 2024 from June 1 to August 31. Join the adventure at any 55 participating More public libraries or online. Collect stamps. This is good because it's like telling you how to do it. Earn entries to win fabulous prizes. That's great. Plan ahead for seamless exploration utilizing library Wi-Fi and librarian assistance. That's an interesting sentence, maybe or maybe not. I need that. Maybe I need that. Maybe I don't. I do know that it originally referenced the fact that we're in rural areas with not necessarily great cell service between libraries. So you're supposed to be checking on your open times and planning ahead. Maybe I'll revise that. Hawkins area libraries are our new destination, which is awesome. Discover hidden gems, while immersing yourself in diverse library communities. Past participants, and this, discovering the hidden gems. Maybe I want to play that up a little bit more to talk about, finding new features in each of the communities while I'm at it. Past participants rave about the adventure, from exploring libraries to uncovering treasures of Phillips Concrete Park. Well, actually, that's not too bad. I think maybe I'll look at using this. Let's just quickly see if I say the same thing to Microsoft Copilot. Please rewrite the following talking points as, I love it when it tries to predict what I'm going to say, as a short blog post of 150 words or less. And then I'll paste that in there. And here's Copilot. Copilot actually makes it into some bullet points here, which might be a little easier to read, but it's getting kind of wordy. Oh, that's 100 words or less. I might have to put that into a thing to check it. And it tries to give you some links for learning more, which is interesting. I'm not entirely sure that that's relevant, but it's fun. Please rewrite again in 75 words or less. I like watching it edit itself as it goes. The bullet point approach is interesting.
That is not 75 words.
It's not 75 words. So I don't know, Copilot. I think your word count is, please be shorter. Sometimes you have to have. It is really excited to include all of the details. And so I think Rabbit just really likes your talking points. Okay. for brevity, I'm going to go ahead and go with the ChatGPT, but I might fix this up a little bit. So I now have my text. I have some text here that I am pasting into my thing. I'm going to personalize this by saying the Blue Pine Library invites you to embark on an exciting journey with more, Explore More 2024. And then I'm going to break up a paragraph so you can actually get that online. Let's see, collect stamps. The plan ahead one is use your local librarian, use Kathy, we're going to say Kathy, sorry, use Kathy, your local librarian, to plan ahead for seamless exploration, or stop and ask any of our helpful librarian friends as you journey across counties. I can get rid of that. I like the Hawkins area one because maybe I'm nearby that one, and say, let's see. That's not too bad. I could probably personalize it a little bit more, but for the sake of this training, I'm going to leave it at that, but I want to spice it up a little bit.
For our libraries, I think it would be super to just mention the app in there somewhere.
Yes. So how would I do that, do you think?
Do it up there in the planning part.
Okay.
So say, ask Kathy, your friendly local librarian, if you need help planning, or download the app, which has hours and directions for all of our libraries.
And I could include a link to that eventually down on the, which has, oh yeah, I would say to plan your trip, or download our app, which has hours
Library details.
I like that. And library details. Like that.
Look, it's also shorter.
And it's shorter. I just made it less wordy all by myself without help. Actually, with your help. And then what I could do is it available in the app stores?
Yeah, it's available in what's it called? Google Play and the Apple iStore. You have to search on more libraries to find it.
Search.
So there's also a link to the catalog instructions.
Libraries in Google Play. Yeah, it got a little longer, but I think that will give a bit more instruction there.
You don't have to find an app, you're going to find an app.
And then we got that. Okay. Whew. Well, I probably could tweak it a little bit more, but I think that's a good start. I am going to eventually include this link, which also has the link to, or this link in there, but I'll put that in at the end. I think I'm ready to do a blog post. So I have my checklist. Now it's time for me to go to my website and start the blog post. From my dashboard for my Blue Pine library, I am going to begin by going to posts, and I'm going to add a new post. Now I'm ready to get started, and you know what? I've got my checklist. So at this point, all I have to do is copy and paste. I'm going to split my screen. If you don't have double monitors, Windows 11 gives you this nice handy split screen view. So now I have my post creator on one side of my screen, and I have my blog post checklist over here. So I'm going to begin simply by highlighting the title that I've chosen and pasting it into add title. Notice when I click away and after a couple of seconds, I get this permalink that appears up here. And I can edit this to say whatever I want, but this will be really handy if I need to print a poster or give some written instruction. Yeah, I can have mylibrary.org and then explore more in 24 as the direct hyperlink right to my URL to my Passport content. Now, the next thing I have down here is the content of my post. So I'm going to come over here and copy and paste right into my editor. Do need to do a little bit of cleanup to remove a couple of extra spaces here. And now I've got my content here. My next step is the categories. So if I notice I've got my text box here, and now I have categories. This website has a lot more categories than you would normally have on any of your websites. Every website is going to have uncategorized as an option. I need to choose homepage, and I'm going to choose library news. And in my case, I'm going to go ahead and choose the programs because I have blog spaces on each one of those. But the major one that I want to make sure is selected is my homepage. Almost every one of you should have something that refers to either a homepage or homepage post slider, something. They're all a little bit differently termed. We didn't get very much consistency when they were set up. A few may have uncategorized only. If you only have one category, then it will be uncategorized. Next, I have my featured image. So there's my featured image, is reminding me that I already got it from somewhere and I've downloaded it to my downloads folder. So I am going to set my featured image. Now, my media library is already going to have it in here because I did this yesterday, but I'm going to walk through upload file, select file, then go to downloads where I know I saved it. I've got my More Passport 2024, and here's my More Explore More 24 for website, and I will click open. We have talked heavily about using alt text. In this case, because this is a decorative image, it's a banner, and it doesn't contain any information that isn't already in the post. This is just one of those things where you don't need to add an alt text. You can leave this blank. The screen readers will just automatically skip over it and will just read the text to the post. If you are using any kind of image that conveys meaning, either somebody in the image, there's a picture of a person doing something, or a picture of something that relates to your content. Perhaps it's a summer camp where you have a picture of students actually doing the activity, or if it is a poster that contains words that are not in the text of in this text of your post, be sure to include that in your alt text. Otherwise, somebody, also for not just people using screen readers and visually impaired, but also the search engines, Google, Bing, they will crawl your website. They cannot read what is printed on an image. So the only way for them to know what your post is about is to put it either in alt text or in your post text. So for today, we're leaving alt text blank. And I'm going to set my featured image. Now, the next step I have on here is to schedule my post. In this case, yes, I could put ready, set, go in alt text. You are correct. So maybe I can actually do that. I can go back here and I could put ready, set, explore, because that is what is in the post. Note that punctuation, and I did put punctuation in out of habit, punctuation, capitalization, none of that actually matters. And back to scheduling, I am going to publish this one immediately. So I am not going to schedule it, but if I was working on my June post, I could click on the edit and I could schedule it for June 1, 2024, and this would automatically appear on that date. But I'm going to keep that to right now. But then I do want it to leave my website automatically. I don't have to come in here and say that I don't, or to say that I have to take it off and take it down when it gets outdated. So I'm going to click on this enable future action. The action is to change the status to draft. And I want that to happen on May 30th because I will have my new post go live on May 30th. So I'm going to say, I'm going to have it come down at 8 a.m. on the 30th. There are a couple other options in here. You can remove categories, replace categories, do some other things. The default is to change the status to draft. And I think that is probably about as much as most people need to do. My last thing is, oh yeah, I had this list of additional documents or links. I want to have this link included, and I could have put it into my post text to remind me, but I will copy this here. I'm just going to include this, learn more about more, I just say learn more at, and download a passport after May 31st at, and make sure that this is a hyperlink. I need to highlight this. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to click up here where it says insert edit link. There it automatically does this in there, and I'm going to click apply. And now we have a hyperlink down here. I might go ahead and bold this just so that it pops out that if they need to get that passport after May 31st, and then I can use this in another future post about that. So I have gone down my list. I have my title, just to double check, Explore More in 24. I have my post text. I have my categories, which are homepage, library, news, and programs. I have my featured image. I have it publishing today and expiring on May 30th. The one thing I haven't done, and this is not something that I have included in this checklist, but it's a nice little handy tool to clean up the look of the front page of your website. And that's to take this very first piece, the Blue Pine Library invites you to embark on an exciting journey with Explore More 24, and then see how much of this I can get. I can do 270 characters of a post excerpt. So right here, I'm going to highlight this chunk. And down in this box, right beneath the text editor, I have excerpt. And I love how it says it's an excerpt is an optional handcrafted summary, which just really means it's more work. Handcrafted, anything handcrafted is more work. But what it does do is it takes the first, I think it's 270 characters, and it inserts this on your front page of on the front page with your blog post. So I'm going to put this in here and see if how that works, just to clean things up. So I'm going to go ahead and publish. It is now published. So let's come back to my front page, hit refresh. And look at this. I have my post on my featured blog, or on my blog slider. So I have Ready, Set, Explore, my Explore More in 2024, and by putting in this this post excerpt, I see a nice clean text right on the front. Just for an example to see what if I didn't do this. So if I take this excerpt out, and I hit refresh, now it's going to just put in as much text as it can up to 217 characters, and I have the ... which does imply read more, which is nice. So you don't need to do this. But if you want, since it is just the first 2 lines, I could just make that nice and clean on my blog page. And so
Erica,
there's
I'd like to also point out that when you are setting that up, you can, setting up the hyperlink, you can tell the hyperlink to open in a new tab.
You know, it's funny, we have an ongoing argument about this right now as to whether that's a good practice or not, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys.
Here's my thought about it, right?
Yep.
If you are sending someone someplace else on your website, I'd go ahead and let it open in the same tab. But if you're sending somebody away from your website, I'd have it open in a new tab. And then people aren't losing, you're not navigating them completely away from your website.
Yes. And I do agree with that. You and I are on that bandwagon. So when you put insert a hyperlink, so right now, the way I have it set up, if I were to click through and click here to read more, and now I have my blog post completely, and I have the text of my blog post so you can read the entire thing, and then I have learn more and download a passport. If I click on this, it is going to open in the same tab away from my Blue Pine Library website, and it's going to come to the Explore More 2024 on the IFLS website. So exactly what Reb said, you've lost somebody from your website. If you want this to be different, if you want it to open in a new tab, then we come back here into the edit post, click on the hyperlink. You don't even click on the hyperlink and it'll open up the hyperlink editor. Click on the little pencil. Now you have apply, but you also have a link options gear icon. Anytime you want to change something on your website, it's often going to be under a gear icon. And this will open up the link editor. You can have your URL say different things. A note about accessibility is some screen readers prefer to read the hyperlink out loud to let somebody know it is a hyperlink and it is clickable. If you hyperlink text, sometimes it doesn't indicate that to a person. And then you would check this little box that says open link in new tab and update. Now, when I refresh my blog post and I click on this, refresh my blog post. I did update that, did I not? When in doubt, update again. Refresh it one more time. Oh, it seems stuck on wanting to open it in the same tab. See, this is when it never works the way you want it to. It says open link in new tab, update. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll do this right from the home page. Click on read more. Nope, seems downed and determined. Let's try. Sometimes page caching can get in the way. So here's another trick that I often do is I keep another browser window or another browser. So here I'm working in Google Chrome and I was working in Edge. Sometimes what I will do is to make sure that things are actually appearing because I'm not signed in here. So I'm seeing what the public sees and not what I as an editor see. Sometimes I will do this just to make sure that things are working. Well, Reb, I don't know what to tell you. It does not want to open in a new tab. I broke it.
I only like tech when it works seamlessly. So
exactly.
It works either way. Most people understand you can use the back arrow to get back to the website.
And that is the only other reason. Sometime with website accessibility, you need to have a verbal indication that it's going to open in a new tab, and we're working on adding some of that when we build websites. That we would have a verbal indication that this link opens in a new tab, or have the option with a little icon that I think you've seen other places that you can open it in a new tab or open it locally. So that is something that we are working on. The website accessibility group and Brendan is actually actively working on. So it's a good thing to bring up. All these little tiny things about websites. So here we have your blog post. A couple other fun features that come with the internet these days. I just discovered that Edge, Microsoft Edge as a browser, has this feature where if you up in the top bar, URL bar, there is an option to create a QR code for this page. So if I were to click on it, it is going to create a QR code that I can copy, and I can come into here into any Word document or any other thing that I'm working on, Poster, Canva, and I can paste that QR code, and I could include that in my promotional materials to have people scan that code and be brought to this blog page. So again, there's this option to copy and paste your URL onto a poster, and then people could type that in, or you could create a QR code. Canva also has a tool for creating a QR code, and there are some free websites that will also do it. But I just thought it was handy that now Edge just offers that as an option. Other than that, again, I think the main thing is to personalize the talking points. Use your ChatGPT or other tools or friends or coworkers to get you started, but then make sure that it is specific to your library. Your post should always include a title, content don't just paste a poster into this space, because again, screen readers and Google and Bing crawlers cannot read anything that is an image. They can only read printed text. And make sure you have a featured image to attract attention. Recommended size is 795 by 500. And then you can enable your future action to make sure that it disappears from your website as soon as you're done with it. Oh yeah, and then I skipped over categories. Don't forget to check your homepage category if it's not default on your website. So that's what I have today. Any questions or thoughts or things that we are missing as far as creating your blog post for your MORE passport? I'm going to attempt, this is where things got broken yesterday. I am going to attempt to stop recording in case there's any conversation that you guys want to have. I'm going to stop recording and we'll see if I break Zoom again.